Good evening, guys. Welcome to my YouTube, or to this recording rather. We're actually live on Facebook as well. So this is my weekly Sunday analysis. If this is your first time, welcome. I hope you find value. If you're brand new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe so that anytime I post any new content on the channel, you will be updated and you won't miss out on good stuff. Okay, so if you didn't manage to join our live, that will be posted up on our channel as well in a couple of minutes. But for now, what we're doing is our weekly analysis. So as always, guys, I love starting out my analysis with gold. First of all, gold last year was just amazing. One thing I've been saying is, and I figured this out the first time when I listened to Robert Kiyosaki, who is very, very passionate about investing in gold. And he actually said that, just pointed out that since basically when so let me just clear this. Since since the first time, I guess, the market ever opened up, gold has been on an upward trend. So we're looking at this and I'm like, okay, this is April of 2006. Gold has forever been bullish. Okay, so I mean, anytime that, yes, it pulls back and everything, you just know that, hey, it's still going to keep on climbing. So gold actually becomes a very easy asset to trade. Okay, it becomes a very easy asset to trade if you just understand that fundamentally, it will continue to rise. However slowly that happens, whatever swings happen in the opposite direction, gold is generally bullish. Now, last year, I gave a lot of I did a couple of weekly analysis, and a lot of the times, we did find that the analysis actually played out. So I'm actually very proud of that. And I remember even we have one of our subscribers who actually made a comment and said, you know what, they've been following my channel, and especially with the gold analysis, he finds that they've been pretty accurate. So thank you for the feedback. At least I know somebody is paying attention and gaining something and learning and coming away with some good stuff. So with gold this week, the year has just started, and what we are seeing is, this is the weekly time frame, right? And gold literally this year has generally, it pushed up. It started, we've been on a retest. Like if you look at it on a long-term point of view, gold has been pushing up and then it's been retesting, and then there's been a bit of consolidation here. Okay. Now, I still think gold has room to push up, but if you look at this critically, we also see that gold has left a lot of liquidity below here. Okay, so there's still chances that whatever happens, even if it takes out this high, okay, because gold closed very bullish last week. Okay, and that was expected because on this was 3 weeks ago. Okay, so this was 3 weeks ago on the 13th of December. Okay, when it started its bullish run, it took out the previous week's low and liquidity and then started to push up. So this, for me, once that happened, I was very bullish on gold, and I'm seeing that there's potential to continue to push up. Okay, we did push up 3 week on this week, and then we hit the we actually, hold on guys, hold on, let me look at this a bit more. Yeah, we did get to we did hit this supply zone and kind of rejected, and then now we are continuing to push up. So chances are we may be trying to target the liquidity up here. Okay, we may be trying to target the liquidity up here. I had actually told guys last week that, you know, we can anticipate, I don't know if it was last week or in one of the past analysis, that we can anticipate that gold will get to 1830, 1850. Now we're at 1828. We closed the market at 1828, 29, depending on your broker and spreads and things like that. So, I mean, we're still looking bullish unless something happens. So if I look at the daily time frame, okay, we have a supply zone. So around 1850 is where I'm seeing we will see this bullish move up, possibly, you know, dissipate, you know, like just slow down a bit, and maybe then we'll begin to see the shift lower. So technically we've actually been stuck in a sideways kind of move here. We've been stuck in this sideways range kind of, okay. But like I said, a lot of liquidity has been left below here. I still, you know, once we hit the 1849, 1850, I will not be surprised if we start seeing gold, you know, maybe continue to shift lower. So this week, I'm actually, you know, anticipating we will get to 1850 and maybe even 1870. I mean, who knows, right? This is gold. She can do anything she wants to do, you know. But we are bullish. We are bullish. Let me see. Let me look at the lower. Let me look at the 4-hour. And what we are seeing here is, you know, we took out these highs here. Okay, we took out these highs. Took out the highs, came back down, took out the lows, and then began to shift up. So if we even look at it a bit more critically, definitely a fast pit stop will be at 1843, thereabouts, and then maybe get to the 1850 where we can, because we're on the 4-hour. This whole, you know, we'll see this play out, maybe see some rejection at that point in time. So that would be my immediate target when the market opens. Okay, we can see this consecutive rally. There was a bit of a dip here, a minor retrace. Okay, and it's looked like you're just retracing to gather more momentum to push up. And it's very possible also that this could affect sellers out, this candlestick here. And some people have been trying to sell, you know, and try and come back to this demand zone before pushing up. That would have been a valid, you know, thing to do because we were at a supply zone. But we can see, you know, we really rallied up really nicely, clearing some imbalances here at least, you know, trying to clear out this imbalance here. So I'm still expecting more momentum up. So that is gold, guys. Now let us look at US 30. Now I like to trade, out of the indices, I like to trade US 30, but I've also been looking at NAS 100. Nasdaq, and I think this year I will begin to, you know, now that I'm not necessarily doing my signal service, which usually takes a lot of my time during the active hours of the market, I'll have more time to now just begin to analyze NAS. So we'll also look at it today. So US 30 has been bullish, but we retraced. So let me first look at the weekly. So we did take out this previous high, and then we started pushing lower. We've been very bullish. I mean, consistently, I've told you guys that US 30 is bullish. Consistently, I have said that, and it has played out. We finally took out the November high, which was the all-time high, and we formed another all-time high. Now, the thing with US 30 and some of these indices is they can be tricky to analyze. Okay, so you now have to look at it from a fundamental perspective, because, you know, once there's no structure to the left to base your kind of, you know, decision making, you know. So, but for me, now that I'm seeing this candlestick here and we're seeing this rejection, there's a potential possibility that we will retest the 36,041 or the 35,356, which is about, let's say, maybe a thousand. That's 1,000 points or 100 points. Yeah, that's like 1,000 points. I mean, that's quite something. But on the closer range, maybe 137 points pullback, maybe to 300 points. But we're looking bullish, okay? But the fact that we've taken out the all-time high, I'm not sure we are yet to push up. I still feel like, you know, we need to retest nicely, but really still looking bullish. My bias, you know, unless something happens when the market opens up. We are seeing on the daily now, the candles structure is slightly showing us more, giving us more information, and that's when we see, you know, we took out the highs, and then, you know, now looking like, you know, maybe we want to retrace. Okay, maybe you want to begin to retrace. If I look at the 4-hour again, we retested the supply. Did we retest the supplies or not? Not quite. Almost did. So potentially we could retest that at a later time, but we closed the week bearish. Okay, we closed not the week, we closed, yeah, we did close the week bearish. You know, okay, this is a bullish candle, but this week rejection just shows you that the sellers actually came in quite strongly. And then on the daily on Friday, we did close bearish. Okay, we closed below this candle, the previous day's candle. So my anticipation is potentially we may, you know, we have liquidity sitting down here, you know, so we may attempt to just pull back maybe 100 pips, maybe even more. Okay, maybe even more, you know. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, maybe 100, 200 points, rather points, not pips, on the short term. But if we don't, we may retest this supply zone again and then now drop, because we didn't quite take out that zone, this zone up here. So that's US 30. I'm kind of bearish on US 30. I feel like we are, you know, like if you look at it critically, we kind of came out of a bit of, let's say, can I say maybe a bit of consolidation. If you look on the lower time frame, let me just look at the 5 minutes. Yeah, so you can see kind of looks a bit different. So there's a bit of expansion here that's happened where price broke out, and then we see this consolidation at the supply zone level, and then we see a breakdown of price. So this is actually, you know, there was some wicking out, premature wicking of, I mean, taking out of premature buyers and sellers at this zone, but we were kind of in some contraction, not contraction, what do I want to say? Consolidation, sorry, some consolidation. We expanded, came back into, so some distribution phase here, dropped, and now we're trying to figure out what next. Okay, but with, you know, what might happen here is we may push up and then push down. I'm biased on the bearish structure to continue, because this is really a massive impulse move to the downside that shows that the sellers are really trying to push the price down. So even if we push up, we may push up a couple of points and then we'll drop. So I'm still kind of overall long-term expecting some bearish move to happen. Now that's US 30. Let me look at AUD USD. Similarly, okay, so, you know, similarly, we are seeing an end in the momentum up. We're beginning to consolidate. This could be a distribution happening. Let me look at the weekly. Let me look at the weekly. So actually, the weekly is looking interesting. It's looking like we may push up. Okay, we may push up, retest this supply zone here, is a supply zone where, let me just mark it out so that you guys can see what I mean. Around here, okay? And then continue to the downside. Those are breakout structure. This candlestick formation here is just showing that, AUD is actually bearish. We came out of this zone here, okay? We came out of this zone here, which is a distribution zone, and then we came down, reaccumulated, and dropped or distributed some more, and now we will probably want to retest and then continue downside, because again, there's liquidity here that may need to be retested. Sorry. So that is, so on market open, okay, let me look at it again. We will likely push up. How many pips would this be? About 178 pips. We may push up. I think we'll open bullish. These markets are looking very bullish, which is not a bad thing, depending on, but yeah, so they'll open bullish, but long term, the structure is bearish. So whatever is happening here is just possibly mitigating previous levels of supply and demand and so on. So that's AUD USD. Let's look at GBP pair. So GBP USD. GU also looking bullish, also closed bullish. So again, we saw some, interesting consolidation or accumulation phase here. We saw the expansion happening, reaccumulation, and then a bit of, some distribution, and then we dropped. We broke. Price just broke down and dropped, yeah. And after that, we are now seeing price continue to shift. So again, we may continue to see that push up. I mean, the way we closed really on the weekly, let's see the daily, yeah, looking very, very bullish. Okay. But we did get to an interesting zone here. And we can see that, in as much as we were bullish, we are at a supply zone of sorts, possibly. Maybe on the lower time frame, it's very possible that we could be on a supply zone. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. So we may see some rejection happen over here, or some consolidation. We may not just break out immediately. We may see some consolidation, some redistribution or reaccumulation. So I would want to see how that happens. But long term, it's looking bullish on GU. Okay, but now that we are here, we may just start seeing price trying to take out previous levels of demand that are still untested here and here. Okay, so I would not be surprised if price actually dropped all the way down. I would not be surprised if price came back all the way down to this zone of 1.32736. But looking, before now we continue, so it can come back down to the 1.33714 zone before it pushes up, or we may just see a breakout. But again, guys, we are in a supply zone, so I'll wait to see what happens here. So let's look at GBP Jpy, looking as bullish as its GU counterpart. Yeah, so like I said, guys, markets are looking pretty bullish, but pretty bullish. We may try to take out this high of October last year. Let me look at the daily. So we actually are in a supply zone, okay, guys. And if we break this zone here, then we are definitely going to just break out and continue pushing up. But there's potential for price to retest the previous levels of demand. Okay. But technically, we have retested this supply zone. Okay, we have retested the supply zone, and I wouldn't be surprised if we rejected and we began to see a shift of price lower. And if you even look at the previous candle on the 4-hour, the way it's looking, this initial rejection, and we'll see how that plays out. Okay, we'll see how that plays out. So that's GJ. Let's look at our euro pair now. Euros. I'll look at EuroCAD. I like EuroCAD. I like looking at it. EuroCAD looking like price was breaking down as of last week. Now EuroCAD has really, struggled at this zone of 2020. Like, it's literally not broken down since 2017 beyond this zone here, since 2017. So this is a very strong demand zone, and for some reason it just keeps on retesting for weeks. There's been this consolidation happening here since October. And for a minute there it looked like she was going to break out, but we see that she literally just took out the imbalance that existed here. Talk about imbalance. There was a bit of an imbalance here when price broke down, okay? And it has just taken out cleared that imbalance, and now is looking bearish. So potentially I'm bearish on EuroCAD. I'm bearish on EuroCAD. There are about 200 pips to play with. If we even look at it structure-wise, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. We did take out this previous low here and then start pushing up, but I'm like still looking very bearish. Okay, unless we break out to the upside, and unless we break out past this zone here, I'm still, excuse me, bearish on EuroCAD. So let me look at Euro AUD. Then I'll look at Euro USD. And of course, I'll look at a couple of pairs because it's the beginning of the year. Why not? Euro AUD also, we did close bullish, but we were we've been bearish on Euro AUD for weeks. We retested a demand zone, and are just here now, sitting here trying to figure out where do we go next. But I'm bearish still on Euro AUD. Okay, like EuroCAD, it's been struggling at a very strong demand zone. Made a couple of retests, okay, since early last year, February. Pushed up, didn't quite, break this high. Pushed down, retested that zone, retested this zone again. So I would really like to see what happens, because we just left a supply zone. We are now at a demand zone. So, I'm 50-50 about the direction of Euro AUD. But really, if you ask me, I wouldn't be surprised if price just broke down. I wouldn't be surprised. But we are in a very, 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 very strong zone. You can see this rejection here, okay, that happened. And if you look at the daily now, there's a bit more of a story. So, we may try to retest this zone again and then drop. Okay, so still bearish, still bearish. So let's look at Euro USD, which has also been struggling. Euro pairs have been struggling generally. I don't know what's happening in the Eurozone. I'm a technical trader, so I don't really follow the news much. But price here broke down, and now we closed bullish. So which it's been a while. It's been a while since if you look at Euro USD long term, we've just been in this bearish structure. Okay, bearish. And then now we slowly look like we are turning around. We closed with a really nice bullish candle here, So I'm actually thinking that we may actually see the push up. Okay, we may begin to see price pushing up on Euro USD. So I'm looking at maybe an initial target being about 130 pips away. Okay, 180 pips, maybe you might even take out that high, 230 pips. So yeah, we on the daily we're looking bullish. On the weekly, I'm sure we were also looking very bullish off of this demand zone here. So yeah, that's Euro USD. And what else? Oh yeah, I said I'd look at NAS 100. Okay, NASDAQ. NASDAQ closed bearish. It's actually, you know, it's like US 30, it's been pushing up, pushing up, pushing up, pushing up, pushing up, pushing up. And then there was a bit of a rejection here. So we may just see some interesting things happen. You see this candlestick here? Maybe possibly it was on a supply zone, even on lower time frames. We can now see these consecutive bearish candles formation, and I feel like we will target this zone here, which, you know, is kind of good. So we saw that we were in this accumulation zone. We broke out, reaccumulated, and continued on onwards, and now we are in this, whatever this is. You know, I mean, indices move in a very interesting manner, but you know, they also, if you're on the right side of the market, they pay you pretty nicely. So I feel like we are bearish. Okay, just like US 30, we pushed up, took out previous highs here. Okay, mitigated supply zones up here, and now we are in the descent. Okay, so I think that's it for today, guys. I don't want to keep this for too long. Maybe I should look at a cryptocurrency. So BTC USD, Bitcoin started rising last week, but it's been in, you know, was it last week or the week before? Let me look at the weekly. This is a chart I marked weeks ago, okay, since November, as you guys can see, and it has literally respected my structure. Obviously people are still anticipating, I mean, majority of people are anticipating BTC to go to 100,000. That would be awesome. I'm of the view that there's still some work to do. Still some work to do. Okay, this candle here, this one, kind of lied to people. I know some people are like, yay, BTC, bullish engulfing candle. For those who use retail trading as their main way of trading, you may have been like, okay, we are in a demand zone. This is a bullish engulfing. We may as well start climbing and trying to retest. Okay, but guys, remember, if you've watched my previous BTC analysis, I've told you guys that I'm still bearish on BTC. You know, I don't know. We see what happens. This is the weekly. On the daily, we're still, you know, doing our thing. Potentially, we look like we want to retest this zone, but we are just in this uncomfortable, you know, space here. We're in this very up, down, up, down, up, down movement. And if you're a scalper, huge opportunities to make money in this zone, okay? Very huge opportunities. And I teach this in my class, how to scalp regardless of the direction of the market. You know, because scalping is like you're taking anywhere from 5 pips to 10 pips to 15 pips. You know, you're not looking for the longer term kind of thing. So this is a scalper's paradise right here in this consolidation, reaccumulation, or redistribution phase, whatever this is. So I'm still bearish on BTC USD. Okay, let's look at LTC USDT, Litecoin. Giving me same vibes, man. Giving me same vibes. Same vibes, baby. Same vibe. Same vibe, man. Same vibe. Bearish. So I don't know. I'll probably look at I'll probably start looking more at the cryptocurrency markets. I'll not just only focus on the major coins. I'll also start looking at the altcoins, a lot of the altcoins. For those who trade crypto, that may be useful information. So look out for that in a future video. For now, guys, I think I'll leave it here. Thank you as always for tuning in. If this is your first time on my channel, please subscribe, smash that like button. Click on the notification bell so that anytime I post up new content, guys, you are the first to be updated. Thank you, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and see you next week. Bye.